Martial arts is my path.
Traditional karate is split up into the 3 Ks. There's Kihon, Kumite, and Kata. Kihon, it means techniques. So basic techniques, as you can see with the people behind me, traditionally was practiced by repeating the same moves back and forth down the dojo. But nowadays, we have punchy bags. We can perfect our technique as if we were hitting an opponent.
Kicks. Kihon is something that every martial artist has to practice every time they're practicing, because in order to master the advanced things, you have to master the basics.
Kihon. Well, one of the 3 Ks of karate is kumite, and kumite means sparring. So traditionally, sparring was done in a drill sort of fashion. One person would attack and the other person would block and then attack. That was called ippon kumite. Sometimes they would attack 3 times. That was called sanbon kumite. And as you can see, they're doing that behind me. So modern versions of karate and more modern styles do a lot more free sparring. And because it's free sparring and they're not exactly drills, it's a lot more dangerous. So we tend to don gloves and shin pads. Kumite. Another K of karate is kata, and kata are prearranged exercises or forms. So the thing with kata is people usually ask, what's the point of them? And honestly, it's a practice. It's just more and more practice. And it gives ideas of how one technique flows into another. And different kata will allow the student, the performer, to practice different sorts of techniques.
One executes moves in a preset sequence, and there is one set pattern to do that kata. But just like martial arts or just like language, a kata may change throughout time when one teacher is teaching it to his student. The kata that we do in my version of Kenpo Karate are actually, the kata from that style are actually modified versions of the Shotokan Karate forms, which are actually different from the more traditional karate forms. So, as I said, kata is something that evolves over time, just like martial arts does. For some people, fortune just means riches, like fame and fortune. Sometimes it's a fortune cookie, like your future. But for me, fortune happens when, things seem hard, things seem bad in your life, and, you persevere, and then good things happen later on. That's fortune. If you have a positive outlook on it, everything is good, and in the end, you're fortunate. 武道には悪くたって難しくたって我慢しなければならない。